Okay, continuing with question number 13. Order the following rational numbers from least to greatest. I always find the easiest way is to compare decimals. So this one's already a decimal, 1.7. This one is very easy to turn into a decimal, so it's 1.21. So I'm actually going to go out two decimal places here. This is 1.70. All right, so far I can see that this one is going to be smaller than that one. And then 31 over 20, let me change the color up. This is going to be 31 divided by 20. So let's see what happens. 20 goes into 31 one time. 1 times 20 is 20. Remainder is 11. I bring down my 0. So now I'm beyond the decimal point. 20 goes into 110. Well, 5 times. 5 times 20 is 100. Remainder is 10. Bring down the other 0. So 20 goes into this 100 5 times. 5 times 20 is 100. Remainder is 0. So this is the decimal 1.55. So in order from least to greatest, well, of these three, C is the smallest, 1.21, followed by B, 1.55, and then followed by A. So C, then B, then A. Next, we have number 14. Now these, all three numbers are negative. Once again, I'm going to change them to decimals. So the first and the last one are very easy because this one's already a decimal, negative 0.43. This one, move the decimal point 2 over, so I have negative 1.112. And the last one is negative 13 over 20. Well, I know the answer is going to be negative. Let's do the work over here. What's 13 divided by 20? All right, so here we go. 20 goes into 13 0 times. How about 20 into 130? That would be 6 times. 6 times 20 is 120. Remainder is 10. Bring down a 0. 20 goes into 100 5 times. 5 times 20 is 100. So it's 0.65, but I already determined it was going to be a negative. So it's negative 0.65. So I'm going to draw a quick number line because I just want to give you guys a reminder. If this is 0, this is negative 1, this is negative 2. So the further, the more negative means the smaller the number, right? So the further to the left. So 1.112 is the only number that's going to be to the left of negative 1. So C is our smallest. Then if this is 0.5 right there, negative 0.5, what's going to be to the left of that? Well, this one right here, negative 0.65. So B is the next largest. And then negative 0.43 is going to be over here to the right of negative 0.5. So A is the largest. So answer is C, then B, then A. Moving onward to number 15. Mr. Lipkovsky is thinking of a fraction with a denominator of 10. The fraction is in between these two decimal places, these two numbers, 0.22 and 2/5. What fraction is Mr. Lipkovsky thinking about? Well, 2/5, 2 divided by 5, is the same as 4/10, which is 0.4 or 0.40. Let's go out two decimal places. So we want a number that's between these two, something that goes in between these two. And it says that I'm thinking of a fraction with a denominator of 10. So 1/10 is 0.1 or 0.10. That's not in between the two. 2/10 is 0.20. That's not in between the two. But 3/10 is 0.30. That's in between the two. And that's the fraction I'm thinking about. Next. All right, which decimal is in between these two? So 4/5. I'm actually going to, I know that's 8/10, but I want to just make sure we understand how to divide numerator by denominator to get the answer. So 4 divided by 5 is equal to 0 sorry, 5 goes into 4 0 times, 5 goes into 40 8 times. So 8 times 5 is 40, meaning 0.80 is the lower end, and then 82% is 0.82. So we're looking for a number that's going to be in between these two, and the only one I see up there that's in between these two is this first answer choice, 0.81. All right, so this is the end of the non-calculator section. For this one, calculators are allowed. So let's see what's going on. Alex pays $35 per month for her cable TV. She pays 7% sales tax on this plan. Which expression can be used to determine how much tax, I said Alex, I meant Alexis, how much tax Alexis pays every month? So we really need to find out 7% of 35. So this would be, and I look at all the answer choices and we're multiplying 35 first. So I'm going to do 35 times, well, what's 7% of the decimal? 0.07, right? We're asked just to find the tax. So we need something that's equivalent to that. So, well, clearly this one here is equivalent because it's exactly the same. Now we have to figure out which of these others is the same. Well, 0.07 is the same as 7 over 100, so 35 times 7 over 100. This is not correct because it's times 1.07, that's 107%, and this one's not correct because it's same thing, 35 times 107 over 100, so 107%. So it's these two. Number 18. Daniel found a coupon for 75% off any single item at his favorite clothing store. Which expressions can be used to determine how much Daniel would pay after the discount for a t-shirt that normally cost $18? All right, so we are asked to find the final price that Daniel would pay. The final price, not the amount of the discount, but the final price. So I want you to think about something for a second. There's a couple ways of thinking about it. First of all, you can find 75% of 18 and then subtract from 18, right? So it would be 18 minus 0.75 times 18, right? Which is going to get you your final answer, right? But another way, but none of these up here are that answer. So let's think about this. First of all, 18 times 0.75 and 18 times 0.75, these two are essentially the same. This, not the whole thing, but this piece, oops, this piece, I'm going to use my magic pen. You'll like this. This piece here is the same as this piece, oops, sorry about that, is the same as, oops, all right. See, technical difficulties, we all have them. I'm not going to re-record. As this over here, right? 18 times 0.75 and 0.75 times 18. But we forgot about this 18 that we started with, so too much. Sorry, I'm taking too long for this. I'm going to kind of start this explanation over again. Sorry about that. The way to think about it is this right here is 75% of 18, right? That's just the discount. If you think about it, if you knock off 75%, you pay 100% minus 75, so you pay 25% of the original. And that's what we're asked to find, what you pay. So which is 25% of the original? This one here, and 1/4 of 18, this one here. These are both answers. Oh, magic pen again? I didn't want to use the magic pen. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, this. Let's go to a regular pen. I'm sorry. So we pay 25%. So that's gone, and that's not gone. These two are the correct answers. I'm sorry for the explanation there. All right, next. Mrs. Miyagi runs a doggy karate school that is having a special this month. Any karate dog that has no accidents on the mat this month gets 35% off their tuition for the next month. If a dog who normally pays T dollars for tuition has no accidents this month, which expression is used to determine their tuition for next month? So normally they pay 100%, but they're going to get 35% off, right? Which means they're going to pay 100 minus 35, they're going to pay 65% of the original price, right? So 65% of T is 0.65 times T. So this one is correct. Also, you can think of it as this way. T, the regular price, minus 35% of T is also 65% of T. So both of these are correct answers. Ralph's Bakery sold C cakes yesterday. Today they sold 12% fewer cakes. Which expressions can be used to determine how many fewer cakes? So we just care about how many fewer. Well, 12% of C is 0.12 times C. So we know this answer is right. But now let's look at the other answers. Well, this one we can eliminate. 12% of C is not going to equal 88% of C. That's out. All right. Now this one, C divided by 12, doesn't make sense. We're not taking C and dividing by 12. In fact, we're multiplying it by 0.12. So that one is out. So this one has to be the right answer. And okay, so we could just select it, but it's right for it being the right answer. But if you think about it, 3 over 25 is also equal to 3 over 25 equal to 12 over 100, which is 12%. So yeah, this is also 12% of C. I hope this helped. Sorry for my stammering on question number 18, I believe, but hopefully if you follow along, you can get the answer.